this bullshit. And that is the reality. We got to get rid of these fucking niggas, bro. Because this is starting to get out of hand, right? Every other week, we got these fucking monkeys stabbing and killing people. And I'll tell you guys this. If this was the other way around, the BLM motherfuckers would be running all across. They'd be complaining. Right? They'd be fucking... Them niggas would be marching through the streets if it was the other way around. If it was a white dude stabbing a black woman like this. The nigga fatigue is getting to an unprecedented level. It's fucking monkey. She doesn't even know what's about to happen to her. She's just sitting there on her phone, chilling. Little girl, man, she's like 100 pounds. What the fuck? The nigger fatigue is at a whole other level, bro. Tired of these motherfuckers, man. Let me tell you something, bro. I don't give a fuck how retarded this nigga is. He could be retarded all day. You know what he's not going to be retarded about? Once we start fucking waterboarding his dumbass. Now he's not going to be retarded. All of a sudden he's going to be able to think. All of a sudden he's going to realize, oh shit, I fucked up. I shouldn't have done that. Get the fuck out of here, bro. We give way too much fucking excuses to these maniacs and say, oh no, it's mental health. Shut the fuck up. No. No. Some people are just bad people. You gotta stop making excuses. Oh, it's mental health. Get the fuck out of here.
Mia, I know you wanted to say something. I was also going to play your homeless clip because this guy was homeless. I don't know if you want to go now. You want to play that clip first.
I just want to say something real quick before you play that clip. It's funny. It disparages me to agree with Myron in anything because I don't like him personally, but like he's not entirely wrong. We need to understand, like, we're talking about this and we're saying it's mental health and blah, blah, blah. But if the roles were reversed, we would not be saying mental health. We would be saying racism. So, I mean, he does have a point because it's the truth. Like, we can replay tons of interactions in news where it has been a white person hurting a black person, killing them or whatever. And we always say racism. We never say mental health. We never say they should be institutionalized. We never say they should have stayed in prison, da, 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 da. We always say racism. But when the opposite happens, now we have reframed it to be mental health. There's issues. It's institutionalized them, so on and so forth. So, I mean, Myron is right. I mean, we are hypocrites in this, or at least the media is hypocrites because we're being a little hypocritical right now.
But based on American history, where Myron has a blind spot, Myron is from Sudan. So based on American history, if we did say it was racism, we have Jim Crow, we have Redline. There's actual things on the books that even if you're wrong, your mind can go there because everybody's not a scientist. But based on a great sample size of American history, things were done to non-white people because of
right.
Racism. Now, I'm sorry, go ahead.
But we're talking about 2025. We're not talking about Jim Crow. We're not talking about anything. We're going to stay in the present and we're going to look at it through the context of maybe we are potentially being slightly hypocritical because we are all super quick to jump on the bandwagon of racism when at times we ourselves as Black people in the community, if I walk up to a white person, I punch them in the face and I tell them I'm doing this because you're Caucasian, that's absolutely being racist. That is me literally using their race as a reason to disparage them, to precedence against them, and to hurt them. That is me being racist. We are perfectly capable as Black Americans of hating and being racist towards other people, whether they're white, whether they're Asian, whether they're Hispanic, and we've seen it recently. I mean, it's not like we're not. So we need to admit we can be a little hypocritical, and we don't always hold ourselves accountable for some of the actions that we may do in a prejudiced way towards other people. Because to say that Black people aren't prejudiced towards others is a lie. We all know it. We're all prejudiced towards people, whether we admit it or not.
No, Mia, you're absolutely correct. My only thing is there is a hell of a sample size if someone wants to automatically play the race card. Now, if they're wrong, they could be absolutely wrong. But I'm just saying it's very difficult for a masses of a population to go against history. So they could be totally wrong and very hypocritical, but for people to go immediately to the race card, there's historic reasons why they would do that, though.
And we don't have to go to Jim Crow. Dylan Roof walked into an all-Black church and killed almost a dozen black people and walked in, was put in handcuffs without a bruise on him, fed Burger King, and everybody talked about what a mental health crisis it was when Dylan Roof walked into that church and killed all of those black people. This happens every day. It's not a black or a white thing. It seems to my only disagreement is when it is black people doing the killing, it's these monkeys and these niggers, and they need to get it together. And when it's white people, it's a mental health crisis in America. When they walk into a school with AR-15s, everybody act like they don't know right from wrong. When little bro and I'm walking down Chicago with the switch and shooting it at each other, we need to send a National Guard. When they out in Minnesota doing it, it's a mental health thing. It's a mental health thing both times, is what I want people to understand. But they only say it's a mental health thing when the light gets shined when it's only a mental health thing on one color. And that's my problem. It's a mental health thing both times. So and that's just the thing for me.
Nora wanted me to play this clip because I guess a few weeks ago, some Haitians got killed by an Indian guy, but no one cared that the Haitians got killed. They just, on the right, they just said, oh, they're illegal. It doesn't matter.
An update on the illegal who killed 3 people with his reckless truck driving. Turns out, and nobody could have guessed this, the 3 people he killed are 3 Haitian immigrants. You know there are way too many third worlders in this country when they are running into each other on our highways.
So, Slim, the right celebrated. Oh, you can't talk? The right celebrated and said these guys, they were illegals in the country. It doesn't matter that they died. But, with this Ukrainian woman, it was a big outrage. So how do you feel that, was no outrage for the Haitian guys that got killed?
It should be outrage for anybody that loses their life. I mean, that's where my quarrel comes into play, because it's like a one-sided affair just to keep the emotions going. It's unfortunate, however you look at it. Immigrants, illegal immigrants is the word. That's another thing we do. We just keep utilizing immigrants. We gotta specify it sometime. We don't have anything against immigrants. We got everything against illegal immigrants. And we're not specifying certain things, which makes it seem inhumane. Okay, so at the end of the day, I just understand what's going on when it comes to the information. There's a lot of information that's being spewed out that's not being checked correctly, and it's causing emotional stress to the people. At the end of the day, the mental health thing, I can understand it, but I'm not going to put the label on it like that's always the case. Some niggas is just crazy, bro. And at the end of the day, that's just what it is. You can't fabricate it, make it look sweet, make it look pretty. People are just different. And it ain't always mental health. Some people got different agendas. You know what I'm saying? So I just say like this, man. Criminals, they deserve to be put where they are. Citizens deserve to have a safe and healthy life, man. And if that's a problem with anybody, you the problem.
Before everybody else respond, y'all might have saw this video Mia put in a group chat, but no one's focusing on the fact that this guy was homeless. So I want to play whatever his name is, I forgot his name, said about being homeless. He's Tim Miller.
Why are people homeless? First and foremost, they choose to be, and they want to be. So when I lived in Seattle, you get a group of kids called the Av-Rats. They lived on University Avenue. They moved from across the country to join this clique of homeless teenage and 20-something-year-olds. Ain't no way you're getting them off the street. It's their adventure by choice. They do drugs and they party. And then liberals donate money to NGOs. The NGOs know they can't get these kids off the streets. They know they can't stop the drug use. Why are individuals who are down and out, who find themselves homeless? I think the average is 2 weeks and they're no longer homeless. Guy gets fired from his job as a contractor, company goes out of business, can't pay his rent, falls on hard times, welfare check doesn't come through or unemployment check. He's outside, bushy mustache, holding up a sign saying, I've lost everything and I don't know what to do. Within 2 weeks, that guy's within a few days. Usually these guys, they go to the shelters, knock on the door and say, I don't want to be homeless. I'm trying to find a place to live. I will do anything it takes. They say, You can sleep here. These homeless shelters, they tend to be empty because the people who are actually consistently homeless choose to be or are mentally ill and cannot be helped. Homeless shelters say we have a curfew. You're in at 6, you can't leave until 6. So again, no one's going to come. You also can't do drugs or drink. No one's going to come. The problem we have in this country is that we used to say, if you are engaged in public lewdness, degeneracy, and I don't mean that in a colloquial sense, I mean literal laws about indecent exposure and obscenities.
Yeah, and just for people who haven't been to America, like, I remember somebody, I was talking to an American and he went, you know, it's like a third world country. And I was like, I have been to a lot of third world countries. I haven't seen this shit. The stuff you see in LA, like, we were in Nashville just walking around the town center. There's just like half naked people lying face down on the sidewalk.
So we can do, there are solutions. The solutions, I suppose, escape a liberal society, at least of the United States' persuasion. In Northern California, they decided to force conservatorship on the homeless. If you were homeless for a certain amount of time, they would lock you up by force and seize your assets and your income. This was frowned upon. It's fascism. Individuals are free. They can do what they want.
Yeah.
They said we got too many homeless people. They're mentally ill. They receive paychecks from the government that they cash and then spend on drugs. We're going to take their money, spend it for them, and use that money to put them in a shelter. Well, maybe we have to. Is that authoritarian? What if there's someone of sound mind who simply chooses to sleep outside? Is that illegal? Should we make it a crime? They've begun to do so. You can no longer sleep in these cities. West Virginia just passed a law. It's now illegal to sleep in public places completely. Maybe that's what looking after someone actually looks like.
So this guy, what were you gonna say, Ken?
Oh, I'll wait till you call on me. I got a problem.
Well, so this guy was homeless, and you know, basically, maybe it's that we don't help our homeless. But Ken, what were you gonna say?
Okay, Tim Pool was homeless because I didn't hear him say that.
No, the black guy that.
Okay. So it's interesting when you can always tell somebody that doesn't have experience what they're talking about, right? So they'll talk about the peripheral, right? I've been homeless. I've lived in the shelter. I've been on the street before, right? I know what addiction is like too, right? So you're graded in America based on you're able to how you perform capitalism, masculinity, religion, and all that, right? Some of this shit breaks people, right? And if you're a person that can't be broken by it, salute to you though. But unless you actually been in an environment, it's not that a person wants to stay like that, right? The things that you may need that you other people may have to succeed in this shit, some people don't got it, right? You can't get up every day and do that thing every single day. You can't conform to it. Your brain is just not that kind of brain. A lot of these people are out there because of broken hearts. A lot of people are out there because of neglect, because of rape, because of molestation, right? And it's easy to talk at it if you ain't never been in it. If you ain't never slept on the street before, if you ain't never had a drug monkey on your back before, if you don't know what it's, some people got pushed to the street because of mommy and daddy, because there wasn't a good village, right? So when capitalism doesn't work for a large group of people, we look at the people and say there's something wrong with you. We never look at the systems and say, just because some people do well in it, but the people who do well in it, sometimes they got mental illness too. Something's off with them, but they're able to just keep it going. So I got a problem with people talking like that. And you ain't never been in the shelter. Like, what are you talking about?
For sure. Somebody said that he was homeless, but I'm not sure. I have to look it up. Heaven, how do you feel about, you know, the guy accused of this? He was homeless. Maybe he didn't get the right social programs from the government, or maybe he needed more help. What do you think?
I've been homeless also, Ken, so I can relate. And everything Ken said was on point. And even as a homeless veteran, and single mother and mother of a disabled child, you would think that there was a lot of things out there for me specifically, you know? But it's just not the case. The help isn't there. I ended up homeless for 3 months. People don't choose that sometimes. And I wasn't a drug addict, and I wasn't, you know what I mean? And I was fighting tooth and nail, doing everything I could. And I know Nora in the chat. Shout out to Nora. It can break you. It really can. When you don't know, like, where you're going to sleep, when you have kids, it's devastating mentally and emotionally, and it breaks your spirit when you fight real hard and you try and you reach out and you're doing all the things. I think that we don't have enough mental health services in this society. I think that when it comes to the black on white, white on black, majority of the time, we're talking about the white on black crimes that happen. It's police that are doing this. Like these are people who are supposed to be like, they should be sane, right? They should be getting mental evals and have someone over them. That's why we're calling it out in that regard, or people do call it out in that regard. I think this is completely different because this isn't someone who most likely has a lot of trauma. If anybody has been in the prison system, you know what that's like. It's not a safe environment, and him going multiple times. Should he have remained there? Probably. Should he have gotten help as a child? Most likely. But when the systems aren't there, that's what our taxes are supposed to be going towards. That's what I want our taxes to go to taking care of our people here, not to dropping bombs on the Freedom Flotilla again in international waters. Like, come on. Like, this is what our money's going to.
For sure. Mia, I know you was talking about how race is being played in the media, but homelessness is an objective that could probably be resolved by the government. So if you know there was some type of services for this homelessness, could this tragedy have been prevented?
Yeah, potentially. Early intervention is always the best. A lot of things can change with early intervention, and depending on anything, could be aggressive intervention. I will say with that Tim Pool video, it astounds me that he did no research, because it is like categorically wrong. We have way too little beds and way too many people. And there are plenty of people out there that will and do abide by the guidelines set forth when it comes to homeless shelters. And we don't have enough homeless shelters for women and children. Actually, we have too few homeless shelters for women and children. And given the economic climate, it's mostly women and children that actually need these homeless shelters, because women generally need 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, 3 bedroom, especially if they have multiple kids. Because legally, if you have a boy child and a girl child past the age of 5, they cannot share a room legally. That's just how a lot of states operate. So single mothers are most likely the largest group of women, or largest group of Americans, that actually need these homeless shelters. And unfortunately, there's very few. I used to work in the emergency services, and there's no homeless shelters anywhere, especially in rural places. Back in January of this year in Detroit, a mother who was living in her van, the van ran out of gas, and 2 of her children died freezing to death in Detroit, Michigan weather this January. And she was on 5 separate wait lists for homeless shelters. 5. And she also had welfare services and whatnot. Like, we just don't have enough services. We don't allocate enough resources, and we literally physically don't have enough buildings. However, if we took care of the homelessness, then how would a lot of these politicians make money? If we, like, for lack of a better term, cured homelessness, how are all these politicians going to make money? Because homelessness feeds into crime, which feeds into private prison, which feeds into the private healthcare system, which is operating out of all of these private prisons because they all have infirmaries. So if we took care of homelessness, which we can, I mean, Chicago itself has $800 million that they allocate for resources when it comes to crime and all of those subcategories. So if we actually fixed this problem, which we can, we have plenty of money, all these politicians would run out of money that we keep electing at a local level, would get no money, and they would get no funds. So we will see this problem never get fixed, because it literally doesn't pay to fix it, unfortunately.
The story that Mia just brought up, we actually covered this on here. So if you want to go see that story, go to the YouTube. Doc, how do you feel about, you know, homelessness? Is it a major problem in America? Can it be resolved?
Yeah, I think it could be resolved, but we just choose to spend our money somewhere, a lot of other places. And as far as this guy, I don't know if homeless probably played a factor, but I think something is just off with him as well. So, you know, some people are just off and they need help, and it could have happened anyway. And I think the dude in the video, he might have one like experience with being homeless, but I don't think he realized like some people are just like for lack of a better term, fucked up. Like my money's just not right. I'm just in between. But I got the mindset and I could get it together and fix my situation. Some people just fucked up. But if I get the money right, I'm gonna do what I'm supposed to do. And when the opportunity come, I'm gonna fix it. If some people are homeless, they got addiction, mental health, you know, they got a lot going on. And having the money wouldn't change it for them. You know what I mean? Like even having the opportunity to go there wouldn't change it for them, because that's not going to change the stuff that they got that's already, you know, messed up going on in their life. Like they can't get off the heroin, they can't get off the methamphetamine, you know, they too deep. They can, but they ain't there yet in their life. You know what I'm saying? So even if you gave them somewhere to live, they'll be trying to sell that out, you know what I'm saying, to get money to feed this addiction, or anything like that. So that's a problem for some people. And then I don't think people realize the violence that's in SA, that's in some of these shelters, and you know what I mean. And we would want to say that it's the best thing going on, and you know, and they got security, and people say stuff like that. But we realize that everybody realize some people, when it's just a job, some people just, you know, you get lazy on your job, and that's just human nature, and it happens to everybody. And I ain't to say the people at the homeless shelter, sometimes they might be getting lazy, but it's a complex situation, you know. And I think homeless played a part into this dude's situation, but I think inevitably some of these people are going to do the things that they're going to do, and it's a mental health thing. And I don't think it's black or white. Like, you know, I don't think just because it's a black dude or it was a white dude did this crime, the media picks and chooses these topics and the murders they're going to publicize, and the violence they're going to publicize to get this reaction out of us. I mean, it's their job to get the interaction. So, you know, that's part of the problem as well.
For sure. Slim, is Trump going to resolve homelessness?
Ah, man, that's a big one, bro. To be G with you, I don't think nobody is going to resolve that on an overnight scenario. I'm just talking to one of my business partners now, and you know, we came to the conclusion, like, some people just like being homeless. Some people just live that way. At the end of the day, you got to respect it either way, but to end it in general overnight, that's a big task. And, you know, you got to be delusional to see that, you know, or to even think that can happen overnight. But, you know, there's ways to minimize it. And I believe there's ways to, you know, go forward within cleaning it up. But again, the homeless people will have to have the initiative to help as well. It's not a one-way scenario. They would have to want to work. They would have to want to get out of the streets. It's a two-way scenario on that level. So no, to answer your question directly, nah, I don't think nobody can stop that right now.
For sure. If you're watching right now, hit that subscribe button and press that notification bell to know when we go live. So happy birthday to Slim. So Slim,
happy birthday, bro.
A personal video. So this Slim on personal video he wanted to show y'all.
Man dropped a nuke on the Democratic Party.
You hate white men unless they're gay. You love black people unless they're conservative. You're for illegal immigration as long as they don't come into your home. You want to ban guns, but you want the government to still have theirs. You hate capitalism, but you expect these corporations to change their logo for Pride Month. You hated slavery, so you hate the party that was formed to abolish the slaves. You hated slavery, but you align with the party that was for keeping slaves. You don't recognize two genders unless you're talking about their hormones. You hate American values, but yet you want to still live here. You say black people can't be racist, but Candace Owens, Thomas Sowell, and Larry Elder are white supremacists. You want to ban guns to save children, but keep abortion to murder them.
I felt like a DJ at a club, Slim. What's your final
Was that an AI video?
thoughts?
Nah, that wasn't an AI video, baby. That was called The Truth. But final
I
thoughts.
think that was AI.
Yo, at the end of the day, man, the logic don't count no more. People are allergic to logic. It is what it is. We see it every day. People want to big up the killers and downplay the people that really need help. And yo, you know, it is what it is, man. I just sit back and laugh because I know my president is doing the right thing. And I'm all for everything that this man is doing right now. I don't really have no doubts that he's going to make this country what it's supposed to be, even after his time. I think people going to carry the torch, man. So I'm grateful for everything. This is the time to be alive. With that being said, 85 Slim on all platforms.
Dot, what's your final thoughts?
Think everybody, all regular people, all people like me, we need to realize that this is a class thing in America. The problem is a class thing, and we're allowing these people to pit us white and black and Asian and brown and all of these different things. But we got to realize this is a class system. These people sit on top, and they keep us riled up and going at each other, and that works in their favor to keep them in the position that they are and allow them to not have to do the things they need to do to fix homelessness, to fix our healthcare system, to give out free college and education and stuff like that. So I think that's something that we just have to wake up and realize as Americans, that like these people are in a different class than us and they don't care. And the sooner we can all come together and make it less about a white, black, brown, Asian, whatever issue, and realize that it is about a middle class, lower economic, social economic system for these people like us in America, I think we'll be in a better place and we'll do better.
For sure. Ken, what's your final thoughts?
Man, I believe we should hold space for people that's dope at earning, like real capitalists, men and women. I believe we should hold space for them, and they should have a space where they can make as much money as they want and not be apologetic about it. They don't have to give back nothing, right? They can just keep expanding, and play that game the way they know how to play it. At the same time, I think there should also be a space for people that may not perform capitalism well, and that might be a little more egalitarian, right? Some people, I think Slim said it, there are some people that like to be homeless. And the key thing is, if you like to be homeless, there should be no judgment about that. If you're not there because of any mental illness, but if you have just decided to live like that, that's fine too. We should be able to hold space for the ill earners, let them go do that. But at the same time, the people on the street can't ask anything of the ill earners. And the people that want to live on the street and find community in that, and you don't perform capitalism that well, I think we should have like a state or a section in the country that all those people can live, like it'll be a whole Burning Man type state for people that want to live like that. Because I don't think people should be graded on the curve of whether you are able to perform capitalism well. That might not be your wiring. And so I think we should hold space for both.
For sure. My final thoughts is shout out to everyone in the chat. It's a lot of new people. Thank you for coming. We do this every Monday through Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Come in, check in with us. My final thoughts is basically like when these types of things happen, we should definitely look beyond race. Race is the easiest thing that we can blame it on. So I hope that we get to a point where we can actually study these crimes and actually do something to prevent all of this. Thank y'all for watching. We'll be back here tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern. Man Cave. Have a good night.